And as I get started, I wanted to give a big thank you and a congratulations to you campers and all of your counselors, staff, directors. Something that somebody told me a lot of times is that God puts you in a place, a time and a place for a reason. There was a reason that He put every single one of you here. And it's not always the obvious thing. You think when you come to camp, the counselors are going to come, the directors are going to come, and they're going to teach the camp stuff. And that's going to happen. But I can guarantee you that you campers are teaching some stuff to the counselors too. You guys are making a difference. God puts you here for a reason, every single one of you, adults and kids. And you're going to leave here with some tools Saturday. You may not even know what they are yet, but God's planted seeds in every single one of them. And you're going to do good things with the stuff that you've done here this week. So, congratulations, I'm proud of you. Now, there's something to show you. Well, let me read you these. I want you to think about these a little bit as we go ahead and talk a little more. First one is from Romans 10, 9 and 10. It says, if you openly declare that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised Him from the dead, you will be saved. For it is by believing in your heart that you are made right with God. And it is openly declaring your faith that you are saved. In Ephesians 2, 8 and 9, it says, God saved you by His grace when you believe. And you can't take credit for this. It is a gift from God. Salvation is not a reward for the good things we have done, so none of us can boast about it. For we are God's masterpiece. Do you hear that? We are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ so we can do the good things that He planned for us long ago. The last one, this is one a lot of people know. John 3:16. For this is how God loved the world. He gave His one and only Son so that everyone who believes in Him will not perish but have eternal life. God sent, and then this next verse, John 3:17, one of my favorites. God sent His Son into the world not to judge the world, but to save the world through Him. Keep all that in mind. All right, I got a couple things I want to share with you. These things are some of the most frustrating, irritating things to me of anything that there is around. Now, you're going to figure out here in a minute when I continue to talk that I'm old. And these other adults in the room, if they start laughing and shaking their head yes, that means they're old too. They're going to know what I'm talking about. This is kind of a simple one. It doesn't have a whole lot of buttons on it compared to some of them. You know which buttons I know and need? I need the up and down channel button. I need the up and down volume button. And that's it. That's all I need. I don't know what any of the rest of these are. Everybody, you're right. I made a mistake. The power button. I know the power button too. For every TV that we have in our house, we've got 3 or 4 of these laying by every TV. And I don't know what any of them mean. A few months ago, we had a bunch of grandkids over, 6 of them. 6 little grandkids. Everybody, I want to mention Aaron and Megan and Anderson and Kate a few times, because you know them. Anderson, out of the 6 that were there, Anderson's the oldest. So my wife, Mary, sends me down to the basement because they're all spending the night. So the 6 of them down there, she's making popcorn upstairs, and I'm supposed to start the movie. We're going to watch Cars 2, and I'm supposed to start the movie. So I hit the power button, and I'm thinking, I wonder what channel it's on. So I start flipping through it, and I know it's cartoons, like in about the 290s, 297, 298. So I go to those. I tell the kids, I go, I don't see Cars 2 on here. And I think it was Kate. Well, no, so I back up. So I'm flipping through there, and I said, how about we watch Peppa Pig? It'll come on in about 15 minutes. And Kate goes, what do you mean 15 minutes? Well, it'll be on in 15 minutes, and then it'll be on for about a half hour, and something else comes on. And one of the other little girls, Rory, goes, geez, you got old people TV. Whatever we want to turn it on. So I find out through discussion into Mary hollering downstairs at me about getting TV on. I finally find out that it's on Roku or Netflix or something like that. But scoop up all the remotes, and since Anderson's the oldest out of all of them, I walk all the remotes over to him, and I say, Anderson, find Cars 2. And he click, 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 and he goes, hand me that other remote. Click, click, hand me that other one. Click, click, and I go, oh, is it on Roku? He goes, yeah, it's on Roku, but we got to use these remotes, and we got to get here. He goes, do you have a Roku app on your phone? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You know what I use my phone for? Make phone calls. I text. I send emails. That's about it. I don't have Roku. Oh, and I buy stuff off Amazon. I know how to do that. I do that. So anyway, Anderson gets us all set up, and it's on Roku, and we watch the movie, and we're good to go. But these are complicated. All right, here comes the stuff about being old. When I grew up, we didn't have this. We had TV. You ever heard of the Zenith? I start shaking your head. Come on in. You heard of the Zenith? You're not that old, but you're shaking.
We know it. I used to say I used to lay on my back and change the channel with my phone.
And if they got the TV, got a knob on it. If you want to change channels, you just go click, 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 all the way around. At our house, we got at the best 5 stations. We usually got 3 pretty consistently. We got channel 8, we got channel 13, we got channel 6, but that was PBS. And on a good day, we would get channel 9. See, I remember all these. And we got channel 10. 9 was out of Kansas City, and 10 was out of Springfield. That's what we watched. My family did have a remote. You know how it worked? My dad sat on the couch and he'd go, Mike, get up and go change the channel on TV. I was the remote. I never ran out of batteries. And then we got a rotor on top of the TV. If I have one of those, and you crank it around and you can change the direction of the antenna on the TV. And it will face a different direction and you can get a little better reception. Simple. There's good things about being complicated, right? Some things we need a little bit complicated, but I like simple stuff. Now, having a relationship with God is simple. It's simple. Sometimes maybe it's not easy, but it's simple. God doesn't really ask a lot of us, does he? What's he want? He wants us to believe. All we got to do is believe it. And we have faith. And we love it. And all the rest of that stuff will take care of itself. That Bible is a big, sometimes it's complicated, isn't it? There's a lot of good information in that Bible. But loving God is simple. Did you know about Jesus' crucifixion? There was a guy on the cross next to him, right? That went to heaven with him. That was a bad man. And one of his last breaths, he asked Jesus to take him to heaven. And he said, I believe. And he asked Jesus to take him to heaven. All he had to do was believe. All it had to do was be in his heart. Simple. When you get to feeling a little overwhelmed, things get too complicated, you're not sure what to do, you're not sure who to talk to, it's simple. Talk to God, believe in God, say a prayer. And He's right there to help you. I'm going to give you a good example here in just a minute. I've got something else I want to show you. Radio was broken. You know how God works? The other day I went to the dollar store and bought a great big bag of chips. You'll understand this when I tell you the story in a minute. Because there were certain kind of chips that I was looking for in there. It was a big bag. And I dug through that whole thing and I found two chips of what I was looking for. Two out of that great big bag. And right before supper tonight, I went over and I dug those out of the bag and I put them in a little plastic baggie and laid them down, put them down by my bed so they'd be safe. So I started pulling stuff out so I could talk tonight and bring it over here. You know where that baggie was? Underneath my computer bag. My perfectly shaped chips were in about 25 little tiny pieces. I thought, what am I going to do? So I did. I came over here and ate a hot dog and got a bag of chips. And with this little bag of chips, I had about 6 of them in that I was looking for. God takes care of you in a funny way. So. All right, here's what I want to show you. I've got 2 or 3 of them here. You guys know what folded chips are? They're my favorite. I got another one over here. They're folded in half. They're shaped like a taco. I like these chips. And I'll dig through the bag. I'll dig through the bag to eat them. They're not really special to me, except I just like them. I don't know why. But one of the things I did was, at some point in time, I started telling all of our little grandkids that I liked them. And they started bringing them to me. We could be at a family dinner, and we're having chips. Pretty soon somebody walks up, one of them walks up behind me and hands me a chip. Looks like this. We might be at a church dinner. Somebody else, one of the little kids there, they'll walk up and hand me a chip like this, a folded chip. Since you know who he is and we're saying names, when Anderson was about 3 years old, one day I went over to his house and I think Megan, I think I got this right, Megan said, Anderson, you got something for Papa? And he went over and he had a folded chip like that in a little baggie, and he saved it up on top of the refrigerator for about a week and a half for me until I got over it. Now, the story started out to be, and doing this started out to be about the chip. They bring me a chip and I would say thank you and give them a hug and then I'd do it again. I do the same thing again. I'd do it again. It started out being about the chip. But it wasn't about the chip. It's not about the chip now. It's about giving. These little kids will bring me a gift. Unwarranted, unasked for. We had a dinner the other day, my sister was there, and one of them brought me a chip. And she goes, what's he doing? I said, he's bringing me a folded chip. And she goes, what are you talking about? So I explained it to her. It's about a giving attitude. You go from wanting something and happy when you get it, and after a while, you begin to think about the giver, and you think about their heart. Your thinking kind of changes. They probably brought me that chip to start with just to make me happy. But they learn what you do. They begin to learn what you do. God gives us stuff, right? Doesn't He give us stuff? You might say, God gives me a new pair of shoes. Gives me a new job. He helped me get this job. He gives me stuff. He helps me through stuff, or he helps me get stuff. But that's not what it's all about, is it? It's not about the chick. It's not about the stuff. It's what will God really do for us? What He really gives us. He gives us hope. He gives us love. He gives us life in heaven. He gives us eternal life. It becomes about the giver, and it becomes about what's in the heart. Until we had grandkids, I'd forgotten how short their little attention spans are. It's amazing to watch them flutter from one thing to another every few seconds. When they're at our house, we always walk down to my shed. There are a million things in there for them to see and touch, most of which they should stay away from. They're slowly learning what things those are. But everything seems new and fun and exciting, and they just can't hardly stay away from the off-limits stuff, even though they've been told numerous times. Does that sound like any of us? Like that shiny stuff, don't we? Even though we're told. I remind them what we came down here for. We came down to get food and go feed birds. I wonder if that's how God feels when He's dealing with me. He gives me a book to read, the Bible, right? That shows me the way. He waits for me to come and talk to Him. He gives me signs. He puts me in learning situations, and He speaks to me through my heart with the way He wants me to live. And just like those little toddlers, my eyes begin to glaze over. I start thinking about my plan. I see those exciting, shiny new objects, and I either forget or I quit listening to what He's trying to tell me. I quit reading the Bible, I quit saying the prayer, and I decide that I'm going to get those shiny things. Seems that the world offers great things to us humans. Just like those grandkids, I sometimes can't keep my hands off of them. I want more money. I want a new car. I want new shoes. Prestige and arrogance and greed take over. It becomes hard for me to focus on God long enough to listen with all these shiny objects around me. But it's about priorities. I focus on and spend time with what is important to me. We all do. And sometimes we slip up, but God's there when we're ready. Every time and any time, God's there. He's waiting on us. No matter who we are, no matter where we're at in life, no matter what we have going on, He's waiting for us. All we have to do is ask and show God we mean it, let Him in our heart, and listen to what He has to say. Mark 4, Verse 24 says, then He added, pay close attention to what you hear. The closer you listen, the more understanding you will be given, and you will receive even more. God's just waiting for you. The more you listen, the more you come to Him, the more He's going to give you. We're not talking about giving you shiny things, right? He's going to give you more love. He's going to give you more humbleness. He's going to give you a greater ability to do the things that He needs from you to do. To reach out and serve other people. All right, one last story. This story is going to start out sounding kind of sad, but I don't want you to think about it that way. This is not about sadness. This is about hope. Okay? Since I've been using kids and grandkids as an example, I asked Aaron if I could use his family as an example, since you guys know them all. So a few months ago, around Christmas time, they got a dog had a dog named Petunia. Because the kids couldn't pronounce Petunia right, they had all kinds of different names for her. Called her Toonie, called her Pia, because they couldn't say Petunia. Well, all of a sudden, around Christmas time, one day the dog wasn't acting right. She was acting sick. So Aaron took him to the vet, and on that day, they found out all of a sudden that she had bad problems. And there was no way she was going to get better. There was no way anybody could fix it. The only thing that was left to do was put her down. 2 days earlier, she was a perfect, normal dog. 2 days later, she was sick and she was not going to get better. And they had to do something. So, took her to the vet. All that took place. Anderson and Kate went. And then we went up there and picked up Anderson and Kate. We were going to take them home. So, we pick them up, we put them in the van. Anderson's in the car seat back, Kate's up here in front. I may get a little emotional, I apologize. Because, wait till we get to the end of the story. Remember, I said it was going to sound sad, but it's about hope. Don't forget that. Most everything in life is. There's sadness, but hope comes from sadness. So they're getting in the car and they're crying. No, they're sobbing out loud. Sobbing out loud. So we get them in and they're in the car seats, and I lean in the side door and Mary, my wife, she's right behind me and she says, Mike, you need to say a prayer for us. So they're in the car seats and I'm leaning in the van, Mary's leaning in over me, and I'm praying. And I say this typical prayer you would say for little kids. You would ask God, I said it out loud so they could hear me, and I said, God, please take care of Petunia. We know that she is with you. Maybe I'm on the surface trying to make these kids feel better. So they can hear what I'm saying, and God's going to take care of them. They're going to go to heaven. All the stuff you think we're supposed to say. And then for some reason, I changed what I was saying a little bit. I quit praying. The best I can say it is on the surface stuff. And I said, God, out loud, so they can hear, I said, I need your help. I need you to comfort them. I need you to take care of these kids. I need you to bless them. I need you to show them grace. I said, I need your help in getting them comforted. And I started to say something else, and I'm leaning in like this, and Mary's leaning in on top of me. She tapped me on the back, because I'm like this, and got my eyes closed talking. Because when I get to praying, I just keep going. So she taps me on the back, and she goes, Mike. She goes, they stopped. And it was quiet. And I looked up. I looked back at Anderson, and he's looking at me grinning. He goes, I'm good, Papa. Let's go get Chick-fil-A. Okay. He may not have said it exactly like that, but it was close. And he was grinning. I looked over at Kate, and she's grinning at me. And she goes, yeah, I'm hungry. Let's go to Chick-fil-A. Now, you cannot tell me that God doesn't answer prayers. You'll never convince me otherwise. When you see something like that, and the way it happened and how it happened, you will not convince me that God does not answer prayers. So anytime I think maybe I'm struggling a little bit, and I think God's not listening to me, and He's not paying attention, and He's not helping me, and I think of that. And I think, maybe it's not right for me right now, maybe He's not answering me the way I want Him to, but He answers prayers. No two ways about it. Notice a lot of this tonight was about being simple. Don't get too caught up in all the frustrations and all the angerness and all the things too complicated. Because I've got a pretty simple mind, I say things kind of in a simple way. I think God's pretty simple. He's complex, but he's pretty simple. All you gotta do is ask and he's gonna take care of it. Say a prayer with me. I want you to do something for me. We're going to keep it simple. I'm going to say it, and I want you to say it after. And he's going to know if you're feeling it in your heart. If you mean it, say it like you mean it. Say it from your heart. I'll say it, and then you repeat it. God, I believe in you.
God, I believe in you.
I know you love me.
I know you love me.
And I know you will